In 500 feet, turn left onto Plum Canyon Road. Now turn left onto Plum Canyon Road.
Nice smooth lane change there into the left turn lane. Okay, we have a green light, we have some pedestrians and an oncoming car. It stopped while back. It's keeping the wheel basically straight. It's creeping forward, waiting for the pedestrians. Okay, it's proceeding. And there it goes. Nicely done. Definitely seeing an improvement in this wide lane and it managing to keep itself in the proper positioning and not being confused and kind of weaving down the middle of the lane. So in 8.2, what it would usually do is as soon as it sees this line, it would pull right. So it is pulling right, but it's doing it gradually. And then I think it'll go back left as we go through the intersection. There it goes. So with the lane marking it centered, on the turn it's pulling itself more to the center. Otherwise it keeps itself further left. So that was a police car. It didn't differentiate the icon, the representation of the police car. I love the brake lights. Going a little bit right here. Nope. Okay, I'm just going to intervene. It probably would have pulled back, but I'm in traffic, so I don't want to let it weave on the road. It's interesting, every intersection it's pulling right a little bit. A little slow turning that turn signal off. That's impressive, yeah. So it sees that biker way in the distance there. Interesting, it's just being patient with this traffic. I gave it a little push with the accelerator so it didn't delay moving forward. It kept the biker even when the car obscured him. Well, lost him for a sec there, is that he went behind the car. Very nice decelerations for the exiting vehicles, but slow to accelerate afterwards, so I'm encouraging it to move.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Via Princesa.
Okay, got it in the proper turn lane.
Now turn left onto Via Princesa.
Nice left turn there, no input from me required. Nice deceleration so far as it sees the traffic head. Previously it would have done a more aggressive brake later. So one thing we're noticing with this build, with the Pure Vision, it seems to be anticipating and doing very smooth decelerations. It does need to get in that right lane. I'm just going to let this figure out when it wants to do that. I would naturally go now because there's a gap, but it seems to be waiting. Okay, there's the signal, and we're moving over. Now let's see if we can do this on ramp. It's a very sharp right turn, and to date it hasn't been able to do it.
In 500 feet, turn right to take the California.
Meaning that I intervened
13
because there's a line of cars
southbound
behind
towards
me,
Los
and I'm not
Angeles.
going to sit here and wait for it to do it like at 1 mile an hour.
Now turn right to take the California 14 south ramp.
Here we go. Should ignore the red. It's just a dedicated on-ramp lane for us. So it's slowing really low, and it's late turning, and there's the slowdown. So I'm just going to intervene so it gets logged, and then re-enable and let it do this merge. So it's slowing down in anticipation of needing to get in front of this, behind this car, and there it goes. It did a nice lane change. I'm going to send that because it's braking unnecessarily, and it didn't signal. Okay, now it's back on its own, and now we switch to nav on AP. So as you can see, all of the cars are now visible in every lane. Oops. And you now can see the cars behind us as well. I really like this. But actually, the whole thing I like, but for the autopilot settings, I've got it on mild and not exiting the passing lane right now. And I am letting it make its lane changes on its own without me having to validate it. still moves a little right with the on-ramp that turns into a wide lane, but previously it would be a more aggressive pull to the right. That was a nice gentle centering. Signaling and getting out of this lane, and it should go now. There it goes. Got a Maserati driving like a madman coming up the left. That's him there. He slowed down, but he cut across 4 lanes of traffic. Or 3 lanes, I guess. So with the Pure Vision version 9, the closest we can do is 2. So 1 is gone, and that's why there's a bigger gap now. I'm sure that's just for a buffer of safety for response time. And so far, it's worked really well. Accelerating right here, but that's okay. Everyone's kind of going slow. I think that's why the car's accelerating slow as well. Didn't overreact or brake heavily for that guy cutting across the traffic there. Weaving his way. Human drivers. And he stuck 1 car in front of us. He was behind us. Ooh, he's signaling. Oh, and he's signaling the other way now.
In 1 mile, take exit 1A on the left onto Interstate 5 South.
Okay, switching into the left lane. I do know there's a navigation bug here. I think it's going to try to get into that HOV lane, and I'll have to intervene on that one and just cancel it. So it thinks there's another lane here for some reason, and even when I'm in the HOV lane, it signals to turn left to a non-existent lane. I'm going to encourage it with the accelerator. It's a little slow accelerating uphill there. It didn't do the left turn signal this time. Excellent.
Take exit 1A on the left.
Another noticeable change is previously, as you can see, the line is poorly marked, or maybe you can see here comes the proper line. Previously it would bounce a lot in that poorly marked left lane. It's a little more stable on that turn. Excuse me. That was good. A lot of brake lights came on there, and the car decelerated with all the brake lights.
In 1,000 feet, keep take exit 158 on the right.
Very smooth and natural motion. And also very safe, not heavy acceleration, heavy deceleration, just efficient travel so far. It sees the slowdown here, so it's adjusting our speed so we don't whip past the center lane.
In 1 mile, take exit 71 on the right onto California 118 west towards Simi Valley.
So let's see how it does this change to the 118 interchange. I'm just going to send that in. It was a little jerky. Transitioning to the right for the exit. And then another right. There it goes. It is clear. There is no traffic behind me. Okay, so the speed limit for the ramp is 45. There it is, decelerating for the turn. I'm not intervening in any way right now. This is all on its own. It's not worried about them, which is nice. And now let's see how it merges. We're accelerating the merge. There's no one in the lane, so it seems to just be kind of naturally merging here. There's the slow acceleration, so they're now pulling away from me, and I'm not accelerating very fast. So I'm just going to push on the accelerator and send that one in. For those that don't know, when I say send that in, I'm hitting a snapshot button that sends it to the AP engineering team as flagging something. I will send an email with details later today. Okay, it's making a decision to pass the slower vehicle. braking to get into the right lane and slowing down for the merge. Very nicely done. There are a group of cars behind me merging with me, and it handled that really well. There is another car there, it's not showing it, interestingly enough. Okay, I'm just using the accelerator. It's not quite keeping up with the flow of traffic. It started slowing itself down for the exit. So you can see it stepping down the speed on its own.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Tampa Avenue.
And their FSD Beta version 9 is back on. Should choose a lane here. Looks like it's picking the right-hand left turn lane for this turn. Yeah, that's fine. It sees the brake lights as this B-pillar camera sees. This one's not going to move up far enough, I don't think, to see it. I noticed on that one, as it was right next to me, it saw the brake lights. Wow, nice smooth as the car ahead of us moved there. And it sees the car ahead of him. Wow, it did there.
Now turn left onto Tampa Avenue.
It's slow, but oops. I intervened there because I think it picked the wrong lane, to be honest. So with that, each intervention, when I take control with the steering wheel, it automatically does a snapshot. How's it going to enter this mall? That works. So here's a prime example. There's a car to my left. It sees the brake lights, and it's right next to the B-pillar. So it sees the brake light, and it indicates it. So it's seeing exactly 90 degrees. So if I'm looking over my left shoulder, I have to look back beyond it to see the brake light, and the car is seeing that. Very nice. But see, this one, it's not showing it because it can't see it. So it's not there. See, it's just on the edge. There we go. As they release the brake light, it removed them. Huh. Oh, it turned it to a truck because it's towing something. A little trailer. Flipped it to a semi for a second there. So it knows it needs to get in the right lane. Still hasn't moved over yet, which is interesting. It's got a wide open right lane right now. Now it's signaling. It's actually doing a beautiful merge. And it should stop for this light. There's people running the red. Wow. So it's losing vision because I've got a van next to me that's blocking my B-pillar camera. But it sees the car beside him. Oh, look at that. Huh. I don't know how it's seeing that. Oh, it's lost it now. There's the green. It's cautious with that car that went in front of us. Let's see how it turns into the mall.
In 500 feet, turn right.
Signal, there we
Now
go.
turn right.
Nice deceleration. I'm just using the accelerator so it didn't come too much to a complete stop there.
Your destination
But
will
other
be on
than
the
that,
right.
nicely done. And we're here.